Twice upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull. His name was Fernando. Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Fernando. He was a flowerful bull. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture, under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would work. She went to Walmart all the time, too. Would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls? Skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome. And because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. There's 3 marks. All the other bulls who had grown up with him and the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at bullfights in Madrid. Bullfight at Stadium Madrid, July 12th, 11/9/1111. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day 5 men in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. 5 hats, 5 goofy guys. All the others ran around, snorting and butting, leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree and sat in. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on a nice cool grass, he sat in the heat, in the shade. He sat on a bumblebee. Hey, that was even. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that's just what happened. This bee did to Ferdinand. Wow, did it hurt. Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting and butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. 5 men saw him and they were all shouting with joy. There was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So he took him away for the bullfight. Day in a cart. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. It's hard to turn these pages.
Yeah.
First came the bandoleros, the long sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picados, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull, make him even madder. Then came the matador, proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to all the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? They called him Ferdinand, the fierce, and all the bandoleros were afraid of him. And the picadors, they were afraid of him. And the matador, scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. Now Ferdinand, he got in the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. There he is. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled, and the bandoleros were mad, and the picados, they were even madder. The matador, he was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off his cape and his sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he's sitting there still, under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy. That's the end.